Hello guys, welcome to this channel. In this video, I will show you how to create this water splash animation. Okay, let's start it. Okay guys, first thing to do, we need to have a product like this. You can watch my another video to learn how to create this object. Okay, let's continue. Let's press Shift A, mesh, add a cube, press S, scale it on the 4th time, Alt Z. To see the X-ray view, we need to scale down our product, select this maybe, and move our cube on the Z-axis, just like this. Just put it on the middle, and press Shift A, mesh, add icosphere here, S to scale it, put it back here. Let's select these two objects, move it to new collection, press M, new collection, just name it fluid. For this one, press F2, name this cube a domain, and this icosphere, name it flow. Select our domain here, go to the basic property, fluid, domain, change gas to liquid. Over here, replay, change it to all. Select our icosphere here, the flow, click fluid, fluid type, change it to flow, flow type, change it to liquid, just like this. Our render range here, change it to 180, and here change it to 182. Let's try to bake it. Let's see, we have something like this. Let's free all, go to the field wake, change the gravity to 0, select your flow, geometry over here, change it to inflow, and initial velocity, click this y-axis over here. I wanted the water of around here to hit our product, so it's probably minus 15. Back to our domain and back. Yep, it's like too strong. Free all and change this one to maybe minus 10. It should be different from yours. Just find a good proportional for yours. Yeah, something like this, but let's free all, and we don't need this border collision, and check everything. And for our object here, we need to create a dummy. Let's hide this first. Go to front view, press Shift A, mesh, set a cylinder, S to scale it down like this. Press GZ, move it up like this. Tap to edit mode, Alt Z to see the X-ray view. Move it down like this. Shift D to duplicate it. Press E, Z on the Z axis like this. S to scale it, X axis. Press Ctrl R, add a loop cut here. And select this edge on the right view. S, Y, scale it on the Y axis. Select this and scale this down on the Y axis. Just like this. We need a dummy and we need to hide our product first. Yep, like this. We have our dummy. And go to the PC property, fluid, over here. Change it to effector. And move our dummy here to the fluid collection. Press Alt H. Just like this, Alt Z. Select our domain. Let's try to bake. Yeah, we have something like this. We can see the result. You can adjust the initial velocity over here till you have the result like you want. Let's try to duplicate this flow. Shift D, duplicate it. I just put it here. And this one, just put it down here. Select this domain again. Free all. Let's try to bake. I like the bottom part, but I'm not like the top over here. Let's free all first. Let's try to increase the resolution over here. Let's use 50. Let's bake it. It's taking much more longer than before. Yeah, something like this. I like this one. Let's free all. Click this mesh over here. Let's delete this flow. Let's try to bake it again. Yep, this one is good. And let's move the frame one by one. This look like found something you like. I guess it's on 40. I like this one. Let's free all. Go to the frame 40 over here. And at your domain over here, time scale. Time scale will affect how fast the water flow. I want it fast and freeze at the second and back to slowly move. At the frame 40 over here, press I to insert a keyframe, and at the frame 41, change this one to 0, insert keyframe, and go to frame 70, change it to 0.5, press I, insert a keyframe, just like this. Let's try to bake it. Let's see the result. It's fast and freezing and moves slowly. I guess we need to rescale our product here, the domain, the dummy. Let's free all again. Alt Z, let's make it much more bigger. As to scale it, maybe something like this. Let's try to bake it again. Let's see the result. Yep, I like this one. Don't forget to save your project. And over here, we need to expand. At the front view, press Shift A. At the camera, over here, change it to camera view. Go to the right view over here. Press G. Put it something like this maybe. Press T. Let's scale it down. Let's expand this a little bit. The frame one. GUI, yep, something like this, I guess. Let's hit the spacebar. 15 resolution, it's good for me. You can increase it or decrease it to have a better quality of the liquid. Frame rate over here, change it to 13. And for the render setup, I'm using OpenEXR, so it will render a EXR picture. Then you can render the picture to a video. Go to render property, change if to cycle, color management, filmic, high contrast, just like this. I'm only using CPU here. You can use GPU compute if you have a graphic card. For my example, I'm only using 50. Let's bring back our product. We need to rescale it. We need to rescale it. Yep, like this. For our dummy here, you only need to render it. Just hide this from render. Click here. Let's see. Yep, it looks okay. Let's create a camera animation. Press Shift A. Add a curve. Bezier curve. As to scale it. Scale it like this. Put it here. And select your camera here. Press Alt G to reset the location. Select your camera again. And here, object constraint property. Add a constraint. Follow path. Just click here, the eyedrop. Click this Bezier circle, just like this. So, our camera will follow this Bezier curve. You can rotate it like this or something like this. And you can do also over here, select your camera, and here, something like this. Let's add another object constraint, track 2. Click this eyedrop and select our empty here, just like this. If we move this Bezier circle, something like this will happen. It will automatically track to our object, just like this. Let's go to the right view and press R to rotate it down here. I want it something like this. And press N, X rotation here, right click, insert single keyframe, and go to the last frame, change it to 0, insert single keyframe. This is only an optional. You can skip this step if you want it. Let's see. We will have a result like this. Expand here, we need another. Expand this over here, change this one to grab editor. Don't forget to save your project. And at this window over here, press A to select everything and press home, just like this. Make sure you select your Bezier curve here and select this one, R to rotate it like this. Select this one, this little dot, press GX, move it something like this. Let's see. We'll have a result like this. It looks a little bit weird because I want to flip it like this and then the splash come. How to do it? Let's see where it's flipped. Yeah, maybe on the 13. And let's expand this bar a little bit. Select our fluid here at the domain. Let's move this keyframe. Move like 13 steps, so it should be 14. We're gonna move it over here, I guess. The domain here. Go to the basic property. Press free all, and we're gonna start it from 13. Frame start, change it to 13. Just like this. Let's try to bake it. As As you can see here, the domain is block everything. Let's hit the spacebar. Let's press Alt Z. Hit the spacebar. Yep, it looks like this, and you don't need to worry. At the frame 1 to frame 13, we have a block like this. If we render it, it will only show a cube, something like this, but we will do something like go to the frame 29, domain here. We need to disable the render. When we render from frame 1 to frame 29, this domain didn't show when we render it. Let's insert a keyframe and go to the frame 30, it's like this, and click here again, enable the render view, insert keyframe. What will happen is, at the frame 1 to frame 29, the domain didn't show up till we reach the 30 frame. It's like this. Okay, let's set up the lining. Go here, viewport shading. Change this one to shader editor. Let's move here, press Ctrl B and just drag like this. And click here, hide the gizmo and the overlay. I'm just gonna use a HDRI object here. Go to the world and select this background, press Ctrl T. It will automatically add a texture coordinate mapping and image texture. But let's undo this first, because if you don't have this option, just go to the edit, preference, add the add-ons. You need to install this node wrangle add-ons, just like this. And you can select your background node here, press Ctrl T. It's like this. Let's find the HDRI. I'm just go to the polyheaven and asset HDRI. I'm just gonna use a bathroom. I'm gonna use this one. Click here and download this. After you download, back to our Blender. At the environment texture here, click open and find your HDRI. I'm using this modern bathroom, just like this. At the render here, go to film, make it transparent so it didn't show the background, just like this. Let's expand this one, change word to the object. Let's add a material for our liquid here, new material. Let's make a simple water. Just turn down the roughness, change the hour to 1.33. Let's make it 0. Transmission, increase the transmission by 1. Just like this. Let's add a background. Mesh, plan, RX 90 degree. Press GY, move it back here as to scale like this. And make the background black. Just like this. Let's try to render one frame. We are done with the render. Let's move to the compositing. Use node here. Press Shift and Control. Click this render layer. It's like this. Let's move this over here. And press Shift A. Search for lens distortion. Just connect image to image here. Just like this. Click Fit. Distortion here. Press. Make it 0.005 and dispersion 0.025. Yep, like this. And select your domain here, add a modifier, deform, and smooth corrective. Let's see. Change factor to 1, only smooth, just like this. Over here, simple, change it to length weight. Yep, just like this. Click your flow. We don't need it to show on our render. Just click here, disable in render. Go to the output property, select here to output. You can change to any folder where you're gonna put your EXR picture. And then let's render the animation. Okay, after you're done rendering everything, just go to File, New, Video Editing, and press over here, press Shift A, image sequence, search for your EXR picture, press A to select everything, just like this. Change the end frame to 180. Over here, change it to filmic and high contrast. Go to the output property here, select your output property, just put it anywhere you want, and render. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching.